Welcome to Random Edge Productions. I'm Tristan. With the recent thunderstorm that I went through, it got me thinking a lot about just how insignificant I am as a human compared to the great wonders in nature and the power behind that. Yeah, it made me think about the book of Job. Now, Job was a righteous man according to the story written about him, and he had a relationship with God, but then his fortune turned a different direction. He went through some trials and was caused to question a lot of things. He had friends that came and spoke with him, trying to comfort him until they tried to condemn him. Three of his friends did anyway, but there was a young man that came along with the friends of Job who was the last one to speak before God himself talked to Job and answered him from heaven. Now, Elihu is the name of the youngest member, and he sat by and held his tongue, didn't say anything because he respected the elders that were speaking to Job about his condition and situation, and none of them could answer Job, and Job himself kind of got under Elihu's skin, trying to justify himself. And he speaks about God, this young man. After everybody else had their say, he decides it's his turn. He's got to say these things. They were on his mind, his heart. He had to say these things about God. And I was reminded of his speech as I watched the thunder and lightning, and as I also watched my two computers go up in smoke, and a router and some outlets, and I'm finally getting things back together. Well, as much as they ever were anyway. But I just wanted to read this, and I'll probably have some of the video footage of that particular storm in the background. I just wanted to read some of God's word. This is found in Job chapter 36, starting in verse 26. This is the tail end of Elihu's speech. Yes, God is great beyond our knowledge. The number of his years is unsearchable. He draws up drops of water. They distill the rain into mist, which the clouds pour down and shower on humankind abundantly. Who can understand the spreading of the clouds, the thunderings of his pavilion? See how he scatters his lightning about him. He has covered the depths of the sea. It is by these that he judges the nations and supplies food in abundance. With his hands he covers the lightning and directs it against its target. His thunder announces the coming of the storm, the cattle also concerning the storm's approach. At this also my heart pounds and leaps from its place. Listen carefully to the thunder of his voice, to the rumbling that proceeds from his mouth. Under the whole heaven he lets it go, even his lightning to the far corners of the earth. After that a voice roars. He thunders with an exalted voice. He does not hold back his lightning bolts when his voice is heard. God thunders with his voice in marvelous ways. He does great things beyond our understanding. For to the snow, he says, fall to the earth, and to the torrential rains, pour down. He causes everyone to stop working so that all people may know his work. The wild animals go to their lairs, and in their dens they remain. A tempest blows out from its chamber, icy cold from its driving winds. The breath of God produces ice, and the breath of the waters freeze solid. He loads the clouds with moisture. He scatters his lightning through the clouds. The clouds go round in circles, wheeling about according to his plans, to carry out all that he commands them over the face of the whole inhabited world. Whether it is for punishment for his land, or whether it is mercy, he causes it to find its mark. Pay attention to this, Job. Stand still and consider the wonders of God's works. Do you know how God commands them? How he makes lightning flash in his storm cloud? Do you know about the balancing of the clouds? That wondrous activity of him who is perfect in knowledge? You whose garments are hot with the earth is still because of the south winds. Will you with him spread out the clouds? Solid as a mirror of molten metal? Tell us what we should say to him. We cannot prepare a case because of the darkness. Should he be informed that I want to speak? If a man speaks, surely he would be swallowed up. But now the sun cannot be looked at. It's as bright in the skies after a wind passed and swept the clouds away. From the earth he comes in golden splendor. Around God is awesome majesty. As for the Almighty, we cannot attain to him. He is great in power, but justice and abundant righteousness he does not oppress. Therefore, people fear him, for he does not regard all the wise in heart. And that was the end of Elihu's speech. He was speaking about the nature and wonder of God. And like I say, it reminded me, who is the God of thunder? Who is this one that shows himself in the majestic display of power when you see a storm go by? Anyway, I thought I'd share that with you. I hope that's encouraging to know that you don't have to trust or rely on your own strength or power. There's a God who loves you, who's mightier than anything we can comprehend. And I hope that's a blessing to you. Thanks for tuning in. And as the notification there, that means please subscribe, please like, and leave a comment. It's always wonderful to hear from you, especially if you have a burden on your heart that you want to share, or a particular insight, especially into God's Word. Feel free to do that. Thank you so much for watching. I'll see you next time. And remember, it's always good to take a nap.